Good morning, everybody. Steve here from The Buried Life. You can see that over here. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. Otherwise, I don't get likes or subscribers, and I would take that personally. So please take a moment to like this video, smash that subscribe button, ring that bell to be apprised of any upcoming videos on my channel, where we talk about being retired in Korea. We talk about visa stuff and how we sold everything in the United States, packed everything in a couple of suitcases, and boom, we ended up retiring here in Korea. Also do some 3D printing stuff. I do some painting stuff. I got a little bit of fitness stuff. But today is a special day, and I even put on a t-shirt to go over this information because this is kind of important, and I've been getting a lot of these questions and accusations. I've been accused of not knowing what I'm talking about, even though I'm sitting here in Korea in an apartment that I bought on an F1 visa, and I have people telling me that my F1 visa, that I'm wrong. And somehow this is an elaborate hoax. This is a scam. It's all green screen. I just visit Korea. I don't live in Korea. Thankfully, I've only got a couple of those in the past year. But what I have gotten are more good people like you, where you ask questions and say, hey, well, how does this work? And how did you do this? And I share the experiences that we went through. Being retired overseas in a different country, there's different ways of doing things, and some things make sense and some things don't. There's going to be some hurdles. And today we're going to talk about the hurdle of the F1 visa here in Korea. Now, in Korea, we talk about the F1 visa, and you will find that mostly it is regarded as a family visitor visa. You will find this on a number of websites. You will find this on Korean immigration websites. You will find it on lawyer websites. You will find it, it basically says with a little thing that says, hey, it's a family visitor visa. It's good for 90 days. It's a single entry visa, so it means you can't leave Korea and come back and then do another 90 days. It's just you come and visit for up to 90 days, and that's all it's good for visiting family. So the question I get when people are interested in retiring in Korea and doing the similar thing that my wife and I did, she has an F4 visa, I have an F1 visa, is they start looking online, and even on the Korean immigration websites and the consulate pages, they don't have this information. You will find F1 visa, 90 days, single entry, visit family, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, but this guy over here, Steve, in Korea, he's on an F1 visa. At least that's what he says, And then, like I said, I got a couple of people that accuse me of not really being here, and, this whole thing is a scam, and I'm making money off of people, which is weird. Because one, my channel isn't even monetized. Two, I don't accept money from anybody for this information of being retired overseas in Korea. It's just, I just share my experiences. So I wanted to set the record straight in regards to the F1 visa. So again, we see the family visa thing, but there's a little bit more to it than that. And on this page here, this is from an immigration lawyer. And I don't use this immigration lawyer. There's a different immigration lawyer that I use, but this is in English. And this actually shows the information on the F1 visa that I wanted to go over. No, I don't want that. I want this. I want bigger print so that you all can see. So the scope of activity, F1 visa, you need to see family members, live with them, assist someone with housework. F1 visa holders cannot work, but there are exceptions like seasonal work or regional specific areas. Personally, for mine, I don't work. I cannot work here in Korea for a Korean employer. Now, I could do remote work from the United States while I live here in Korea. Let's just set that straight, okay? The period is up to 2 years and can be extended. That is actually true. Now, it's really different because you'll see it can be extended up to 2 years, but they start you off at a year. When I got my F1 visa, it started off with a 1-year term. And even then, it's good for 1 year. But if you want to renew it, you got to go back 3 months prior to the ending date of your term and put in excuse me, put in your renewal paperwork. So with that being said, there's some little nuances that comes with any immigration system, but it can be extended. Now, this is a little caveat. I got my F1 visa. It was good for 1 year. My wife's was good for 3, which is weird. We're married. We've been together 35 years. So why wouldn't you think the terms would match? Because we've been married and yeah, we're not going anywhere. Had kids, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, it's just a thing. It's just the way it is. I don't know. Maybe they had enough, Koreans who were married to Americans and their spouse, or the American spouse said, yeah, 1 year of this, I'm going back to the States. I don't know why they did it. But you can extend it for an extended period of time. And in my case, with our immigration lawyer here in Korea, we had to have our marriage certificate. We had to have the birth certificate of our daughter, who's in her 30s, and submit that with the renewal paperwork. And now I have a 2-year term on my F1 visa. Now, here is the interesting part. There are subtypes of the F1 visa, and this is the nuance that you won't find on Korean immigration websites. You won't find it on the consular websites that I could find. So if you can find that, put that link in the comments section down below. But Korean websites that are written in English, or even Korean websites, I couldn't find it. Tried a number of different consulate web pages in the United States, and it's just like, yeah, I couldn't find them. It just says F1 visa requirements, put it in, blah, but it didn't break it down into subcategory. So we're going to go over these. We have F1-11, spouse and minor children of an H2 visa holder. 112, spouse and minor children of F2-7 and F2-99. Then you have parents of a minor student. You have adopted foreigners. So if you end up adopting a foreigner as a child, you could use this visa. F1-15, parents of excellent talents, investors, masters, or doctoral students and spouse. If we continue on, it goes through A1, A2 visa holders. You could even be an F1 and a housework assistant of high-value investors. So if you're making bank and you're one of those high rock and roller investing people, you could have your maid or your, the au pair, your au pair, or your nanny. Housework assistant of high-tech investors, housework assistant professional workers, non-family inmate of A1, A2, and A3 visa holders. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of drama in that one. F1-5, parents and family member of marriage immigrants. F1-6, marriage of immigrant to dispose of household after divorce. Okay. Naturalization applicants. Korean-born children of legitimate stayers. And then down here is the one we're talking about. The spouse, minor children, and parents of F4 visa holders. Parents of children who are attending elementary, middle, high school, or exempted are also included. So that's the one that we're talking about right there. Is since my wife has an F4 visa, me being the spouse of my wife, this is the actual designation of my visa, is an F1-9. So, and under the F1-9, it is a multi-entrance visa. In other words, now mine is good for 2 years. I can come and go as I please. We just took a trip to Hawaii a little while back. We did some other stuff. We could take trips, enter and leave and come back as many times as we wanted. So it's a multi-entry and exit visa. For a regular F1 visa, it is only good for visiting family, and it's limited to 90 days, and it's a single entry visa. So the people that have contacted me, and like I said, most normal good people like you, and I appreciate you, so you should give the like button for yourself. Or better yet, put in the comments section, I'm a good person, and I'll give you a thumbs up. A regular F1 visa is only good for visiting family members. So if somebody has Korean history or ancestry, maybe they were adopted, a Korean was adopted into an American family or foreign family, and then they come back to Korea to visit their birth parents or whatever it is, or maybe somebody came to the United States and became a U.S. citizen and they want to come back to visit for only 90 days, you could do this visa as well. But I don't know why you would want to do that, because you can just come here on a tourist visa from the United States. But other countries, you might have limits on the amount of time that you can visit. So maybe the F1 visa would be good for that, to extend your stay up to 90 days. So anyway, that is the F1 visa. And the interesting thing, even on this website, if you go on this website, and like I said, I don't know this website, but it talks about the different visas, but they don't list all of the visas. So, like they did on this page here of showing the breakdown and the subcategories of all the different visas. So, where is it? Dun, 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 dun. There it is. So it won't break down all of the subcategories. Excuse me, man. I didn't have the air conditioning on last night, so I'm a little clogged up. So anyway, yeah, that's what we got going on. It's hard to find this information, and even though I don't use that website of that particular Korean immigration office for our visa renewals and paperwork and so on and so forth, I did verify the F1-9 visa information with our immigration lawyer. So with that being said, our immigration lawyer, let me see if I can pull that up for y'all, because I know there's some people that have asked about that. And there it is, and boom. Wow, that is big. So we're going to shrink this down to size here. But this is our Korean immigration lawyer that we use. So feel free to use them. They don't speak English, they speak Korean, but they're officed in Songtan, which is close to Osan Air Base, the same city, and they actually have an office in the same building as the Korean immigration. So for those of you who are thinking about retiring to Osan area, Songtan, or Camp Humphreys area, this is a great immigration office. We got real good service with them, and that's how we got our F1 and F4 visas. So a little caveat with that, you can apply for your F1 and F4 visa while you're in the United States from a Korean consulate and have that approved. I'm not sure how long the approval time is, but you can get those visas before you come to Korea. So when you land in Korea, then what happens is that you will be able to open up a Korean bank account, you can get Korean cell phone service, you can buy a car, buy an apartment, do all this stuff, and you won't have to wait around. What we ended up doing was getting here on a tourist visa, and we had all our paperwork in a couple of suitcases, and we're like, hey, well, let's just hang out. And because we were kind of like 99.99% sure, but we wanted to leave ourselves out. So anyway, we got here and we used that Korean immigration office, and the first week we were here, we're like, yep, this is going to be it. It clicked and it was good with us. And so we submitted our F1 and F4 visa paperwork through that office, and it took 2.5 months to get approval. Now, the other caveat with that is that we submitted it in the first week of October. It took 2.5 months, so you had some holidays and Christmas in there. And we actually got our Korean registration cards, are formerly known as ARC cards, alien registration cards, but they changed it because apparently alien is offensive to some people. But now it's a KRC, which is a Korean registration card, and we got that on the 26th or 27th of December. So it was about 2.5 months, and then we were able to open Korean bank accounts. We were able to get permanent cell service, buy and do all this stuff normal long-term visa holders have. So anyway, that's what we got going on. I thought that would be kind of interesting. So yeah, there's that. And there was a number of people that were asking about the Korean immigration lawyer. If I was going to go back and do it again, I think what we would do was submit our F1 and F4 paperwork for those visas prior to coming to Korea, because basically we just had to sit back and just kind of twiddle our thumbs a little bit and wait for that time. That means that we initially got here, we had an Airbnb, which was overly expensive for the area that we're in, but it's a high demand area, so they have higher prices. And then what we ended up doing after, I think it was like 3 weeks, yeah, about 2-3 weeks, something like that, then we found a month-to-month rental. But month-to-month rentals here in this area are extremely hard to find, because again, there's a military base here, Camp Humphreys, from the United States military. It is the largest United States military base in the world for the United States. There's like some 35,000 plus people that work, and family members and soldiers and contractors and yada, yada, yada. So yeah, month-to-months are hard to find, and I don't want anybody thinking, oh, I'll just get there and get a month-to-month rental. They are really hard to find. They are more focused, property managers and realtors are more focused on 1 to 2 year contracts for housing. And there's such a high demand and there's a low demand for month-to-month rentals. Now, another option is that you could, live in a hotel for a while. But I will let people know that even living in hotels, getting one rented out for a long-term stay, which they do, caters more towards the military. Not saying that they'll turn you away because you're not military, but they fill up quite frequently. So, the availability of rooms, it ebbs and flows with the permanent changes station of military that come and leave and come here to Korea. So, yeah, just be aware of that. There are some people that have come to Korea that will stay with family members. I don't know how you feel about your family members. My wife's family is awesome, but I don't want to impose on them and have to live in their space. And let's face it, my wife and I were in our 50s and we like having our own space. And yeah, maybe 1 or 2 nights would be okay. But yeah, that's why we ended up getting the Airbnb and everything. We've been Americanized, so we like our own space. So anyway, hopefully this answers some questions in regards to the F1 visa, because again, I get a number of people that will say, I'm looking up information on the F1 visa, like you said, and it only says that you can visit for 90 days. And here's something else I wanted to point out is here is my Korean immigration card, my Korean registration card. And if we take a look at this, I blacked out any sensitive information, but you'll notice down here on below my name and the country, it says United States and it says F-1. So yeah, even on my Korean registration card, it only says that I have an F1 visa. It does not list the subcategories for any visas, which seems really odd. You would think you would want an ID card, and that ID card would have all the pertinent information. Let's say, for whatever reason, for immigration purposes, because with different, for different types of F1 visas, there can be different terms of stay. For example, the F1 visa for visiting family is only good for 90 days versus the F1-9, which is good for a year or 2 years. And so there's different terms for these different F1 visas, and you think that would be listed on your KRC ID, but it's not. I don't know why. There's just things that just don't make sense here in Korea. Just like there's things in the United States with our government that doesn't make sense either. So anyway, I hope this, excuse me, I hope this answers the question of the F1 visa and how I can stay in Korea for longer than 90 days, and I can exit and enter back into Korea multiple times, a multiple exit visa by using the F1-9, and that's what we looked at today. For people that are married to somebody who's on an F4 visa. Okay, so matter of fact, let's just do a quick little screenshot here to kind of give you that information and just to highlight that. And boom, there we go. So yeah, the F1-9. There's some other visas that we're going to be going over in another video. And matter of fact, there's another F visa that I'm going to take a look at and get more information on because it has a longer period that you can stay for your term. And not a lot of people talk about it, but I have received information from veterans and people who are retired in Korea that are on that visa. There are some additional requirements. There's an age requirement, but it allows you to have up to 10 years on the term of that visa, and we'll be doing that in another video. So anyway, if you have any questions about retiring in Korea, doing what we did, and our situation is my wife was a Korean citizen. We saw each other from across a crowded room. We fell in love, and well, kind of sort of like that. We met at a Bible study, and then we dated and courted for a year, and then we got married, and it's been awesome. We've been together like 35 years. That's like crazy, and it doesn't feel that long. It really doesn't. For me personally, it feels like maybe 10, maybe 15 years. And I look at the dates and I'm like 35. It doesn't marry up for some strange reason. So let me see if to show you what I'm talking about. Seriously, if I can give you a kind of a look at what my spouse and what she looks like. Dun, 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 and boom. So that's us. That's my wife right there, my better half, and she is incredible. She is incredible. Why she puts up with me, I don't know. And that's the only time you will see me in Korean ancient clothing. So yeah, you got a little bonus thing there. But yeah, the wife and I have been together for quite some time, and she is incredibly awesome. And yeah, I apparently I've passed the training phase, and I'm a keeper now. She said that a few years ago. So it took a while to get me trained and house potty trained or whatever. I'm good to go. So anyway, one last thing, be sure to like and subscribe to The Varied Life on YouTube. I would really appreciate that. And if you're watching this on Facebook, send a friend request or whatever. But also be sure to do the YouTube like, subscribe, smash button thing. Would appreciate that as well. Anyway, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. Did this help? Any information that you were like, I didn't know, or anything? Put that in the comments. I would like to read that as well. All right, with that being said, I'm going to finish this before this gets cold, and everybody knows that I love my lattes, so we will see you on the next video. Peace. Good stuff.